Isha has to be one of the most frustrating characters in Arcane Season 2 for me, primarily due to the fact that they never bothered to give her an actual character to begin with, and just wanted her to be a cute, little sad character for Jinx to hang around with, like Mando and Baby Yoda style. But also because Arcane Season 2 kills her in a pointless way just to never mention her again. This is especially frustrating when you compare this to how Arcane handled the death of children in its first season. The deaths of Milo and Claggor haunt the narrative for the rest of the story. They are constantly, literally haunting Jinx by appearing during her mental breakdowns, while also haunting Violet because she feels immense guilt that she couldn't protect them. The dolls of Milo and Claggor are even present at the final dinner scene of Season 1. Beyond this, the actual physical deaths of Milo and Claggor make a ton of sense and have phenomenal setup and payoff. It was set up in one of the first scenes of Episode 1 that the Hex Crystals are very temperamental, and Powder nearly kills her entire family just by accidentally dropping one. So when she combines a few of them into a bomb, it makes a ton of sense that the explosion could potentially cause some serious harm to a family as well as the villains. I also love how quickly this all happens. It's so real and raw. Milo and Claggor don't get this big, slow-motion send-off because it's realistic. They were in the wrong place at the wrong time and simply got caught up in the crossfire. Truly an amazing use of killing off a character. And Milo specifically is a great character to compare against what happens to Isha. But with that being said, let's run down everything wrong with Isha's death. Number 1 is the way that she actually dies. It's illogical. While definitely the smallest of all the issues that I'm going to bring up in this video, the fact that this little girl is physically able to accomplish such a task as navigating a battlefield, loading a gun up with 2 bullets, and getting close enough to Vander to set it off before he rips her in half is a bit insane. But beyond that, what I really don't like about this death scene is the slow motion, especially when comparing it to the speed and realism of the previous deaths in Arcane. It just felt a bit cheap in comparison. But for the most part, the actual physical death Isha experiences is the least of her issues. This may sound a bit insane to hear, but did you know that after Isha sacrifices her life to potentially save her friends, her name is never said again? I'm not kidding when I say that. She's vaguely mentioned a single time in passing, but the name Isha is never actually uttered after she dies. Not by Jinx, not by Vi, not by Savika, not by anyone. And to make matters far worse, Isha's death actually doesn't accomplish anything. The main reason that Isha sacrificed her life is to protect Jinx. However, there is a secondary theme implied of putting Vander to rest with her own 2 hands, since their 5 scenes of walking around together is enough in terms of the relationship development between the 2 characters. But after she fires, none of her objectives with sacrificing herself are actually met, since Warwick just comes back from the dead, even stronger than before, and harms Jinx anyways. Not only that, but since Warwick is now back, Vander's corpse is still being toyed with, so in terms of the practical accomplishments, her sacrifice literally has none of them. Not only that, but Isha literally dies in order for Jinx to live, only for Jinx to try and take her own life. What saves Jinx and keeps her from taking her own life isn't realizing that Isha sacrificed herself for her, and because of that she should live a life worth living in order to honor Isha. No. Instead it's Echo, who she hasn't had an actual relationship with in over 7 years. And yet somehow this only gets worse. The most important relationship in Isha's life, outside of her relationship with Jinx, is her relationship with Savika. Savika and Isha have taken a strong liking to one another, and it's implied that Savika is a protector for Isha. And yet, after she passes away, we never get a single scene of Savika talking to Jinx about what happened, due to the fact that somehow we never even see Savika finding out that Isha died. Yes, you heard me correct. In case you just figured that at some point Savika found out and you just forgot, no, you're not going crazy. Savika never finds out or talks about what happened with Isha. And this is just, by definition, wasted potential. Could you imagine a scene where a depressed Jinx and a saddened Savika talk about their shared pain due to losing someone that they love and trying to work out how to move forward, together? This is only worsened by the fact that this potential scene was already set up, since they have a scene just like this in episode 2 where they share some pain regarding the loss of Silco. Just incredibly unfortunate. So let's quickly sum up my points. Isha's death is a perfect example of how not to kill a character. Her death doesn't work logically. The characters that she had relationships with never mention her name again. Her objectives when sacrificing her life aren't met, and at the end of the day, her death meant absolutely nothing for the story at large. Congratulations, Season 2 of Arcane. You managed to blow up a kid and make it feel meaningless. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. It's been a while since I've talked about directly Arcane on this page, but I'm going to start sprinkling it back in because I do still like talking about this TV show, all of its flaws and all. But with all that being said, please let me know in the comments down below what you thought about my video. Let me know what you want to see next from me, whether it be Arcane or something else, and hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.